This is Kirby Marie here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another episode of Shin Hayarigami 2. First of all, it's very good to see y'all again. I hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all having a lovely day, afternoon, night, depending on your time zone. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for taking this moment of your time and watching today's video. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, be sure to drop the like button. It really helps out a lot. If you're not subscribed to the channel, would appreciate it if you do. Also leave your comments and your thoughts on this video or anything in general. And yeah, last episode where we left off, we had an actual encounter with the lady in the trench coat. We set up this hilarious dating style where we were pretending to be couples, and then the lady in the trench coat showed her ass up, and we couldn't get to her because she literally ran like a cheetah. But we did manage to get a hair sample from under the bench. Let's not question what part of her hair that is, but we managed to get it, and so we sent it to the laboratory to get the results, Dexter laboratory style. And now, well, after that, we told the report to Tanaka, but he was acting like an asshole, and you know, basically he didn't care about the sample. But the ones who did actually care are new characters that we met, which we saw them in the intro, but we officially have met them, which is Shintaro Nimi, who's assistant inspector, and Masaomi Kokatsu, who is an elite inspector. They're both very experienced detectives, and they've been on the run for a long time, and they're literally the #1 detectives with the highest arrest rate. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Inspector Kokatsu seems like a very serious, I would say, cloud stripe type of man. Very serious. He must have a dark past, and now he's like very secretive and all of that. And Nimi, on the other hand, is more like an annoying ass who just thinks he's better than anybody else. You know, one of those smart ass nerds who thinks they're better in terms of everything. And so yeah, it was a pretty interesting encounter. We met them. We spoke about the situation and the hair sample, and then after that, we came to G Prefectural Hospital to visit the 3rd and 4th victim. Things went to the 3rd victim because obviously Sena tried to do something nice, but in the end he sort of did something stupid, and it caused the girl to panic and fear, and so we couldn't talk to her. But we did learn some things from a nurse, where apparently the girl was hanging out with a bad group of friends. They were in the back alley or something like that, and that's where the lady in the trench coat strike, and their friends didn't report it. I guess they were doing some bad things, like real bad things that could get in trouble, and so that's why they didn't report it to the police. And the girl had lost eyesight, I think in the right eye, if I'm recalling. And so they're basing it on the urban legend of the White Thread. Also, now we're currently visiting the 4th victim, and we met this new character named Eiichi Yasawa, who is a goofy ass motherfucking looking Mickey Mouse dude. Like, he literally looks like, you know how Cats, that the movie, the live action Cats, where they had the horrible CGI faces? Yasawa is literally like that, except in mouse version. And so we met him. It turns out he's the boyfriend of the the fiance of the 4th victim, excuse me. And he's, I assume, and based on his outfit, it's no doubt he's part of Yakuza. So now we're here, still in the hospital. We're currently visiting the Minami Machi woman. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and let's get to it. 1 second. Didn't even have to text up. As we approach the bed at the center of the room, we hear painful groans. No! Help! Kashima! Her right leg has been brutally slashed off by the lady in the trench coat, leaving a flat area under the blanket, a lifeless leg. Jesus, I'm not really able to read today. I'm so sorry. She must still be running away from Kashima in her dreams. If she doesn't wake up, she'll continue to have this nightmare for the rest of her life. But I know for a fact that when she wakes up, she'll be living a nightmare for the rest of her life. I think she's gonna have a heart attack and die right there if she finds out. which is more unfortunate. I can't say for sure. My eyes land on Yasawa. There's no way he's not able to hear her pained moans. Even though Eiichi Yasawa is her fiancé, he doesn't seem particularly concerned. He's probably here because his father, Kogoro Yasawa, told him to do so. A member of Parliament who's after the assets of the victim's father, Kosuke Minamimachi. Political marriage. Such an anachronistic phrase comes to mind. Ugh, that's gotta be horrible. As a woman, I feel a double or triple amount of sympathy for the victim, but that sympathy won't do much for her. I legit feel sorry that she's marrying Mouse Man over there. Like, the only hope that we could get is that he has a good dick. If he doesn't have that, yeah, your life is I mean, I'm just being real right now. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hey, you guys! If you're the police, you investigate this more thoroughly. You should investigate this more thoroughly.
Excuse me.
If you don't arrest that creepy woman soon, you'll both be fired. Understood?
Yasawa words. Something about that caught my attention. So we have two options. That creepy woman, or is he threatening to fire us? And we chose the threatening because, bro, do you know who you're talking to? A Latina. And you won't mess with Latinas. Is he threatening to fire us?
You're threatening to fire us? What are you going on about?
I level a glare at him and his shoulders shoot out. Oh! Chupate!
What am I going about? I told you before. I have the power. I can fire all of you whenever I want.
He tries to act up, but it's clear that he's afraid. And this is what he gets for threatening. He's nothing more than a petty scoundrel who uses his daddy's influence to his advantage.
Huh? You have the power? Don't make me laugh. You're just a wimp who can't do anything without your daddy's help.
What? Why you really want to get fired, huh?
Don't care! Go ahead and try it if you can! Do you think Sena Aizen, the man promised to be the fastest man in the world, would succumb to a threat like that?
If you told someone that one of them was a detective, who would believe it? It looks like a delinquent versus thug situation. Anyways, it would be bad if we made this kind of guy angrier. Things would get even more complicated. Thinking of that, I tried to stop Sena, but...
The fastest man in the world? Sena? No way! You're the legendary Sena at the speed of light?
Eiichi Yasawa suddenly turns around and sits humbly in a servile manner. Sena at the speed of light? I think that was Sena's nickname during his gang days.
Apologies. I didn't know that Sena at speed of light had become a police officer.
Surprisingly, Sena's able to silence this arrogant man with his dark past. Still, just how famous Sena must have been to be able to make Eiichi Yasawa a man with the power to submit to his obedience.
Well then, Eiichi Yasawa, you're going to cooperate?
Of course. You see, I actually saw the lady in the trench coat. What? Huh?
I couldn't help but let out a stupefied expression. Who would have thought there would be a witness in a place like this? Now that I think about it, I did heard him say he saw a creepy woman, so this man was there at the time of the incident. What the hell were the other members of the 1st Investigative Division doing? Did they foolishly avoid questioning the son of a Dia member because of the power the Yasawa family has? Or perhaps this man just simply chose to stay silent.
Can you please elaborate on the situation at the time?
Yes, that's fine. That day, after we finished eating at the hotel, we decided to walk home. On our way there, that creepy woman was lying in wait. The A woman was walking towards us, muttering to herself and swaying back and forth. She had a big machete in her hand. Can you believe it? We had to move quickly. If we didn't, we would have both been killed. People call me a scholar, but the truth is I have a background in martial arts.
Oh my god, even I'm laughing at that.
So, I took advantage of that creepy woman and I punched her in the solar plexus. And that creepy B-word got scared and ran off.
Is that really true? It sounds too much of a lie.
If what he's saying now is true, his fiancée should have been protected without a single scratch. This man, Yasawa, doesn't seem like the kind of man who would fight for any woman at all. Nuh-uh. This guy is lying, so I'll expose his lies. I glanced over at Sena, who immediately understood my intention and nodded. Yeah! Time to use liar's heart on this guy! Wait. Yasawa, what kind of date do you have with your fiancé? I start by asking him a simple question.
Weren't you listening to what I was saying? We had a meal. It was a high-class restaurant that you lowly people couldn't afford, though.
Naruhodo. So, apart from going to dinner, where else did you go?
I may not look like it, but I'm a busy guy. I was with her that day because it was a set appointment.
An appointment? Excuse me?
Yeah, I must meet her at least once every 10 days. That's what my father told me to do.
Ooh, okay, by the way, before we continue, let me save because we're doing liar's art. Yes. Wait. Let's do this.
I always get so excited with liar's art.
Okay. So there are three choices. So this is just a troublesome arrangement. Are you that busy? Isn't it weird to only eat dinner together? The first one. So, you having dinner with your fiancé is a troublesome arrangement? Yasawa's eyebrows twitch.
How dare you! I do my best to accommodate her selfishness!
Selfishness? Is going on a date once every 10 days that selfish?
Yes! I mean, no, that's irrelevant! Stop asking stupid questions like that!
Yasawa glares at me, clearly frustrated. This simple question seemed to have some sort of effect. His feelings towards his fiancées are extremely close to zero. Moreover, Yasawa doesn't seem like a man who would risk his life to protect her. To avoid having this engagement broken off, he may have tried to save face, but... Ah, damn it. 1 second with this, because I keep forgetting something. There we go. Fix the camera this time. Because last time I had the camera on the other side, and so yeah. Once we're done, I'll put the face cam back where it was, so yeah. Anyway, so we got the bar up already. Yasawa, what do you think of your fiancé?
Huh?
It seems he didn't understood my question. Yasawa stares at me with a blank expression.
What do you mean? I'm her fiancé, so of course I care about her a lot.
So, is it natural for you to protect your precious fiancé from the perpetrator?
Yes, that's right. You understand me, don't you, detective?
He seems pleased. He's even beginning to call me detective.
Look, I was desperate at the time too. That creepy woman had no intention of letting go of the machete. I may not look like it, but I'm a fighter, you know? My punch landed on that woman's stomach.
Yasawa clenches both of his fists and begins throwing light jabs right in front of us, and what he would probably like to claim was boxing. I'm pretty sure he's just doing like this.
A boxing expert?
Well then. Okay, 3 choices. Prove it. Show me your abilities. Couldn't you have dealt it with before she got hurt? You fought her barehanded.
Then prove it.
I aimed my fist lightly at Yasawa's face where he was showing off his proud boxing moves. Of course, I have no intentions of hitting him, just stopping short of the target.
What?
Yasawa lets out a pathetic yelp and steps backward.
Hey, what are you doing? It's dangerous to do something like that here.
Well, you said that you're a master of martial arts, so I wanted to see if that was true.
Are you really that stupid? Who would go out of their way to ask something like that?
But it wasn't possible for you when you confronted the lady in the trench coat, right?
Yasawa's face turns pale when I point this out. He must have understood the meaning behind the question, but he has no way to cover it up now. Oh, I got you, little trappy boy!
Pardon me for saying this, but I don't think a person like you, who can't even confront me, couldn't have taken down an armed criminal.
Don't be ridiculous! I fought her! I defeated her! I defeated her!
Yasawa continues to make up excuses, which means he's lying. This man has no experience in martial arts, and even more so, he doesn't have the guts to face a woman armed with a machete. It's clear that this man had no desire to fight the criminal to protect his fiancée. Let's change the subject and talk about the culprit.
Okay, Yasawa, if you claim that you fought the culprit, mind giving us more details about it?
Yeah, fine. What do you want to know?
Did you see the culprit's face?
Yasawa's shoulders shoot up in surprise.
Well, I don't remember.
He doesn't remember? That's disappointing. It's obvious because... Let's see. Okay, but you said there was a creepy woman, but you said you confronted her, but this is the person who attacked your fiancé. First one.
You say you don't remember, yet you said earlier that she looked like a creepy woman.
As I continue to nitpick Yasawa's answers, he begins to grow more agitated. In situations like this, he doesn't want to give the other person a chance to think.
No, it's just... I mean, not her face, but the way she moved, you know, that sort of thing.
Naruhodo. So you had time to observe her movements, and yet you don't remember her face.
Yasawa is unable to answer my question. He just simply lets out a pathetic yelp.
Please, give me a break! I don't want to remember that woman!
He tries to act brave, but it's clear he's terrified. I can see that Yasawa's lie is quickly crumbling. Just one last push.
Hey, that's enough interrogation, right? How long are you going to keep on nitpicking like this? If you have time to be doing this, that time should be wasted on finding that woman!
He believes this shouldn't be something we should poke around with and is trying to shut us out.
I understand, but can I ask you one last question?
Is it really the last?
Yes. It's about when Miss Minamimachi's leg was slashed.
Ugh, are you seriously going to ask that?
I'm sorry, but it's part of our job. So could you please tell me more about that?
I don't want to go into detail. But like I said, she was just waiting. Then she suddenly went after us. She slashed her right leg with the machete multiple times. She even struck the bone and severed it. Ugh.
In that case... The testimony is contradictory to what you said earlier. Doesn't mean that you're an accomplice. You witnessed a crime this whole time. The first one!
Mr. Yasawa, you realize this testimony you gave is contradictory to what you said earlier. Can you elaborate more on that?
Huh? What do you mean?
He probably hasn't realized yet, but it seems his memories of the amputation had devastated him so much that he's clearly not thinking.
You said that you struck the assailant in the solar plexus while she tried to attack you.
Yeah. He's finally realized it, but it's too late. Big mistake, papa.
So you're saying that when you confronted her, she was still in the process of amputating the victim's leg? Right leg? If you really did confront her right away, there's no way her leg would have been amputated. That's...
Yasawa's at a loss for words. No matter how hard he tries, he still finds himself in a spot where he could not make excuses. There's no doubt about it. The man did not fight the culprit to protect his fiancée, but instead...
It couldn't be helped! It was impossible! It was impossible!
As soon as we discovered the truth, Yasawa's confidence had crumbled away, and he burst out crying like a hysterical woman. Wah!
You sacrificed your fiancé and ran away on your own!
I said it sharply, as if to accuse him of something.
Because this woman! It's this woman's fault for wearing high heels!
Ooh, wow, give him the worst boyfriend of the year award. Or worst fiancé. So this is true. Eiichi Yasawa, he's only interested in the large amount of money that his fiancé will one day inherit.
You guys also have your own lives, right? Aren't we all the same species if we have life? What's wrong with that?
Don't compare us with your boy. This man has no shame, and I find it a bit insulting that he's trying to compare us to him. Lysima! 1 second, let me change the camera. There we go.
You scum!
It's an appropriate nickname for this guy, Jesus.
Huh? Hey! What did you just say? How dare you insult me!
Oh? Suddenly there was a commotion outside the hospital room. The sound of feet running and shouts echoing around. Hey! Who are you? Wait! Stop there! Suspicious person spotted! We need backup! Ooh!
What was that sound?
We heard something heavy and hard crashing towards the floor and walls. Something's wrong. That does not sound normal. Sena, who's been through many fights during his gang days, cautiously approaches the door.
Sena, be careful.
I know. Let's just get this over with. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yo! Yasawa's piercing screams echoes through the large hospital room. There stood a woman wearing a trench coat and covered in blood. Holy sh! That is... Whoa! Her body sways eerily back and forth, her expression unreadable as if hidden by her long black hair. An abnormal level of malice and presence. Is this really happening? What's this? Her doing? Oh my god, now I gotta cover it up. Sena points to the blood-stained hand of the lady in the trench coat, clutching the police officer's head. Oh my god! Oh! That's a nice little touch there, by the way. Unfortunately, I can't show it on YouTube. The strong police officer's head collapses to the floor, his whole body bent in an unnatural angle. Behind him, the other police officer was lying face up, eyes wide, convulsing and foaming at the mouth with blood. Holy sh! I can't tell if he's alive or dead. Who would have thought she would show up in broad daylight at a hospital room with police officers present? Holding my breath, I carefully observed the lady in the trench coat. She has no weapons. Did she just take 2 strong police officers in an instant with her bare hands? However, the extraordinary murderous intent emanating from the lady in the trench coat confirms this is an unbelievable fact. Who? She's coming for us! The woman, without saying a word, slowly thrusts both hands forward. Her hands are sharp as birds of prey's paws, as if her sole purpose is to strangle the next victim. Her pale hands and nails were stained with a filth that was unclear whether it was blood or mud.
Hey! You guys! What are you doing? Hurry up and arrest that creepy woman! Harass her!
I wish I could do that, but I'm unable to move, as if I've been paralyzed. This is exactly how a frog feels staring at a snake. Kawaii, but if I don't move now, I'll be the first to be killed. Is this what primal fear feels like? Again, with the imagery. The traumatic events from Blindman incident comes back to mind. Despair comes over me, and the overwhelming premonition of death darkens before me. Kawaii, I've told myself that no matter what difficulties or fear awaits me, I will overcome them. I thought I'd be able to do this. Kawaii. I feel like my heart's about to break. All the muscles in my body were tense and I couldn't move, much less speak. Am I going to fail again? No, I can't fail. I can't run away now. I've sworn that I will never make the same mistake again. I never want to go through that again. This time, I will conquer my fears. This is not the time to hesitate. There's only one thing I need to do, and that is... overcome my fear! And I use all of my chapitas. Trophy. Right. No matter what fears I face, I will overcome them. I'm a detective. Don't move! You're dealing with the police! I muster all my courage and shout at her. Then miraculously, I feel the bonds releasing and I was able to move again. Sena! I got your back! Right! Ah! Sena flew away. What? I believe I can fly. No, literally. He really flew. I believe I can fly. Sena performs an impulsive drop kick towards the lady in the trench coat. An unprecedented act of violence. Whoa. The lady in the trench coat bends into a U shape and she's blown out of the hospital room. Pah! Wait, one sec. Yeah, he does not have any arrest techniques. He's a punk after all. He's more used to fighting. Sena's probably the only person in the world to have landed a dropkick on someone who may be an urban legend spirit. In a sense, it's outrageous. In another sense, it's a great achievement. Take that! Sena pumps his fist confidently, his energy filled with excitement. Jeez, this isn't the time to do that. Let's get her! She's been hit towards the solar plexus. There's no way she's been able to move. See, Yasawa? That's how you hit on the solar plexus! Leaving the stupefied Yasawa behind, we hurry out of the hospital room. Huh? Oh my god! Hi there! To our surprise, the woman was standing there, as if nothing had happened. Her long hair still dripping, her head bowed. Hey, come on! You can't be serious! I just kicked her with all my might! Is she even human? Through the gap around her long, heavy hair, I swear I could see the woman's mouth curl up into a smile. And then in the next second... By the time I get to speak, it was already too late. Oh. The woman turns around, breaks a window, and jumps. The hell? Is she insane? This is the 10th floor! A moment later, we hear a loud thud. She probably realized she could not escape from us, so she chose to take her own life. I never thought the incident would end like this, but I feel relieved. No, not in the way you think. Somewhere in my heart I feel relieved that I won't have to face a strange woman like her again.
I guess it's better to just fight it, right?
Well... Sena begins to approach the broken windowsill, and looks down at the floor below.
No way! This is ridiculous!
What's going on? I noticed Sena wasn't moving at all, so I approach him and look downstairs, and what I discover is... There's nothing. No, there's no way. There's nothing. Also, by the way, I am going to be putting a little arrow there on a certain someone. That figure is going to be very important throughout the Shin Hayarigami franchise. So yeah, I'll do that during edit. The broken glass and a crowd of onlookers gather around, wondering what was going on. However, the most important thing was... the lady in the trench coat who jumped to her death is nowhere to be seen.
Hey, is this a scary reality? Or is this just a dream?
I don't know what's going on. But one thing is certain. This incident is not over yet. In fact, this is just the beginning. Basically. Fear and confusion. If I don't sort out what's going on here, I might go crazy. Now we're doing self-question. Woohoo! Woohoo! Alright. So the question on the top says, is it necessary to reconsider the incident? And the bottom part says, it is necessary to look back at what happened so far. Let's start with the third incident. The victim, Miyu Tanahashi, had her earlobe bitten off by the lady in the trench coat, causing her to lose sight in her right eye. The optic nerve does not pass through the ear, so having part of your ear ripped can't make you go blind. So, both choices, it could be either psychological impact or curse. In this case, it's psychological impact. This has nothing to do with a curse. Because obviously, you'll see why it's not like an occult thing. Perhaps there may be a psychological impact. The psychological turmoil caused by having one appearance disfigured combined with the impression of an urban legend wearing an eye patch creates a state of suggestion. If that's the case, it's possible she may have still gone blind in her right eye even though there was nothing abnormal with her optic nerve. Now, let's focus on the fourth incident, whose right leg was amputated. With the second incident, the woman would only get a slash at their ankle, whereas in this case, the injury went as far as an amputation. Why is that? This one is to imitate Kashima. One second. The woman under the bench does not explicitly depict someone having their legs chopped off, but Kashima is an urban legend about someone getting their limbs chopped off. If this is the case, then the reason for the amputation of the leg with the fourth victim was to replicate Kashima. With the amputation, she wouldn't have been able to be fully Kashima, so the culprit amputated Miss Minamimachi's leg. So, all of this was done to become an urban legend. Come to think of it, how abnormal is this culprit? Why would the lady in the trench coat show herself again? This one is two options, to silence or to make people think that the culprit is someone from an urban legend. This case is to silence. A witness had been around the fourth incident. Is it possible she had come to silence him? It would make sense if she had come here. She might have found out that we had come to interrogate Eiichi Yasawa and then came to eliminate him. So, the lady in the trench coat. This is our second encounter with her, after seeing her for the first time at the park. She had a durability to sweep away police officers with her bare hands and even remain unfazed when she received a dropkick from Sena. In the end, she jumped up from the 10th floor and disappeared without a trace. What on earth could this mean? She's an inhuman monster. She's using some kind of drug. Is it possible that the lady in the trench coat is on some kind of drug? We can consider this theory with the way she defeated those police officers by exerting strength beyond the limits of her physical body and then deflected Sena's attack by losing sense of pain. But what about jumping from the 10th floor? Could she possibly have grabbed onto some ledge or something? Why did she suddenly disappear after that?
Did she escape into another open window along the way? So, based on this, and this is the part where everything is going to change. The paths are going to change now. So, the investigation should be conducted from a scientific point of view, or the occult point of view should also be taken into consideration. And in this case, we're going with the occult route. Soda, the only way to solve this case is to investigate it from an occult perspective. We are police officers, though. We shouldn't easily believe rumors and ghost stories. But this incident is strange no matter how we look at it. The lady in the trench coat, her behavior is not human at all. I tell Sena my conclusion towards the investigation.
Are you sure? Should we really...
Sena looks at me with a serious look, as if to emphasize the point. Yes, we can leave the scientific investigation to the other detectives at the 1st Investigative Division. I'm sure that Inspector Koketsu and Detective Nimi will conduct a scientific investigation with their experience and achievements that surpasses ours. If that's the case, we should consider a different path. The chief probably expects us to investigate from that perspective anyways, and he's secretly planning to set up an ostentatious department, a special team. So it's pretty clear, we must do this. All we must do is live up to those expectations.
Hey, we're going to continue. Next part of this whole thing.
Yeah, let's save. It's cool that they ask you to save here. They don't do that in the other chapters, though.
But that's cool. Thanks. Hey! Okay.
Alright, I apologize. I had to stop recording halfway because some neighbor is actually making a lot of noise outside, and so it was getting through the mic. I obviously didn't call them out or anything. I was just waiting until they stopped, so... But I think it seems to have calmed down for now, so... Hopefully, no more interruptions. Hopefully. Anyway, so... where did we left out? I'm trying to look at the Good grief. Okay, there we go. I was so concerned about Sena not agreeing with me that this partnership would end.
Naruhodo. Right, so our investigation will focus on the possibility of a supernatural phenomena. Yeah, that's great! I was thinking the exact same thing!
He agreed with such excitement I began to worry for him. He seemed satisfied with us investigating from the occult perspective.
Huh? Really? You're okay with this?
Of course! It's what I've been saying from the beginning. Believe in the victims and witnesses.
I can't help but be amazed at Sena's strength of will and conviction. Anyone can't easily say something like that, but he says it with no care in the world. A man whose actions speak louder than words. That was the moment I realized how lucky I am to have my partner, Sena. Oh, that is so adorable! The next day... Whoa, who's running? Oh, you. You're running like this. As we entered the prefectural police headquarters, we saw someone running straight towards us from the front entrance. It was Chief Tanaka. Also, where's the music?
Hey! You two! What have you done? Huh? What do you mean?
Chief Tanaka frantically wiped sweat that are gushing out of his face with his handkerchief. Bro, you must have been sweating so much that even your wave running over there, all that sweat drip on the floor, and I can already see people slipping right beside you. Wah!
Mr. Kogoro Yasuwa from the tower was very angry! What on earth did you do?
Based on the chief's expression, it seems Kogoro Yasuwa may have filed a complaint to the chief prefectural police. 2 police officers were stationed to provide security for his son and his fiancée. Furthermore, those 2 detectives, me and Sena, let the culprit attack us and let her get away. They must be wondering why we let that happen.
That's probably why Kogoro Yasawa's pissed. Eiichi Yasawa must have complained about this to him.
Not only did you let this culprit escape, but you also put Mr. Yasawa and his fiancée in life in danger! This is the biggest blunder in G Prefecture! Because of you, even I, the chief of the 1st Investigative Division, am being held accountable for supervisory responsibilities by Master Yasawa! What are you going to do about it now?
It is a boss's duty to take responsibility for the mistakes his subordinates make, but Chief Tanaka doesn't seem to think so. Even so, Sensei. Mr. Kogoro Yasawa is a prominent politician who is well known nationwide, On the other hand, dark rumors about their abundant funding has always been plagued by the company, making them untouchable entities even among professional journalists. It is even said that he has ties to Yakuza! I told you so! But no one seems to be talking about it. He's made a name for himself in central politics and has built up a strong base on G Prefecture, making him a sort of ruling figure in the prefecture. Even the police cannot lay hands on him. Chief Tanaka calls Kogoro Yasawa master, and he's more than willing to succumb to pressure from the dark politicians.
Hey Chief! You're also a police officer? Are you really going to suck up a politician who's tied with the Yakuza? I can't believe you would try to curry favor with me like this! I respect Mr. Yasawa for his efforts in the development of G Prefecture! I respect Mr. Yasawa for being an amazing person! And the whole Mr. Yasawa being connected to the Yakuza is just a rumor! There's no proof, you know?
Judging from this statement, it seems that G Prefectural Police are aware that Kogoro Yasawa has a connection with the Yakuza, but are turning a blind eye to it.
There's no smoke without fire. Even you can understand that, right? Besides, a police officer...
Sena Aizen. Although he's a delinquent, he begins to speak passionately about justice as a police officer to his superior, the chief! He's probably expressing himself like any other cop, but it's kind of heartwarming to see Sena, a former leader of a motorcycle gang, talk about justice.
In other words, police officers! I already know that! Please, give me a break!
Chief Tanaka, pressured by Sena's speech, steps back in embarrassment.
Huh?
Suddenly... Whoops, sorry. Okay. Suddenly, Chief Tanaka bumps into someone who happened to be passing by. Ah! The one I was pointing to earlier! Hello there! It seems Chief Tanaka bumped towards a blonde foreigner. Who the heck is he? Oh, this mysterious music! He has a handsome face and a black suit that at first glance looks classy. The dark, tight-fitting suit suits him well on his tall, lean build. His narrow, sharp eyes look down at Chief Tanaka, who had fallen on his ass in a pathetic manner like an insect. As if he's completely denying Chief Tanaka's existence. If God exists, he must be looking down on humans who repeat the same foolish mistakes with eyes like this. Chief Tanaka slowly stands up, rubbing his bottom. I'm scratching my ass, bro.
So, what were we talking about?
Without even batting an eye towards the man he bumped into, Chief Tanaka continues the conversation as if nothing happened.
Kacho, who's that person? Who? Who are you talking about?
Chief Tanaka looks around aimlessly with a clueless expression on his face. The blonde foreigner leaves as if nothing happened. Is he part of Yakuza too? Who knows?
Hey, old man, are you sleepy or something? You just bumped into a blonde foreigner, the pretentious guy who acts like a prince.
A prince? I mean, he certainly seems like a handsome man with a noble fragrance, so it makes sense to say he looks like a prince. But it kinda gets ruined by his strange, condescending gaze. He looks more like a dictator than a prince.
A blonde foreigner? What are you going on about?
He seems to try to be playing dumb. Oh my goodness! Over there! Look over there! He's right there! At the direction Sena's pointing at, we see the blonde prince getting inside a red luxurious sports car. Whoa! That guy has a nice looking car! Sena's eyes sparkled and started speaking like a child who can control their emotions. Surprise, jealousy, and desire. Damn, that's so cool! I may not be an expert in cars, but I do know about luxurious sports cars. They're not the kind of cars any average businessman can just casually drive. But something else caught my attention. A distinctive white number plate on a blue background. That's... Okay, so there are 3 options. It's a self-defense force vehicle. It's a police car, which obviously that's not it. It's a diplomatic vehicle. And the option is the last one, the diplomatic vehicle. Blue license plate with white letters. I'm pretty sure that's a diplomatic vehicle. Is it possible that this foreigner is a diplomat? Oh, Marie, you're so funny! Why would a diplomat come to visit a remote place like G Prefecture? But, Chief, look, that... I pointed towards the car, showing him the diplomatic license plate number, but Chief Tanaka refuses to even look at it and just shakes his head. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see anything. Are you guys seeing a ghost or something? Huh? What are you even saying, old man? I better head back to work. So busy. Very busy. After saying this, Chief Tanaka quickly walks away at an extremely fast pace, his hands on his head. That was pretty suspicious. What's going on? Has the old man gone insane? Sena's right. Chief Tanaka's clearly acting strange. Even though we decided to investigate the case from an occult perspective, I can't possibly imagine the blonde prince to be a ghost. I've never heard of a ghost walking around in broad daylight and driving around in an expensive sport car with a diplomatic license plate. It's unclear what kind of person he is or what his purpose is in coming to G Prefecture headquarters. But judging from Chief Tanaka's expression, he seems to be someone who should not be messed with. Although I felt like something wasn't right with this, we had no time to waste on things that are not related to the case. Anyways, let's continue with the investigation. The hair analysis we request from the forensics lab should be completed by now. That was certainly strange. Indeed. Forensic Science Research Institute. It is an institution related to the criminal science and is a group of professionals in specialized fields such as medicine, science, biology, and psychology. In terms of the content of their work, they not only examine and test evidence but also conduct research and development to prevent crimes and accidents from happening. We were told that this matter would be personally handled by the director of the Research Institute, Professor MITSUKO Kisaragi. Oh, you guys are gonna love her! She's quite the character indeed! Good. It looks like the hair analysis is over. I'm a bit surprised to find out the director herself was the one who handled this. A meeting with the Witch of Forensics herself. Will we even make it out alive? The Witch of Forensics? We're at the Forensic Science Laboratory, which is related to science, and him calling her a witch is the complete opposite for occult. The fact that she has a moniker that includes the characters scientist and witch, which are supposed to be mutually exclusive, shows that she's no ordinary person. I have a bad feeling about this. You should. I guess it's no surprise that you didn't know. You were just assigned not too long ago. But we have a witch living here at G Prefectural Police Headquarters. The chief director is an urban legend. The blonde prince some goes with a luxurious sports car. And now we have a witch here. What on earth is going on in this police headquarters? Can someone please clear it out for me? Bro, I wouldn't even be surprised if there's aliens in here too. The Witch of Forensics, you say? Don't tell me you're going to say that she can use magic, are you? No, but it is possible she could use magic. No, that's not possible. No matter what you say, it's not a possibility, Sena. Her name's Mitsuko Kisaragi. She's 37 years old and she's single. She graduated from Kyoto University Graduate School. She's a very talented woman with doctorates in medicine, forensic medicine, pharmacology, science, and engineering. Anything more? She gonna be the president of the US or something? She's very open to the police and has a beautiful appearance that makes you forget her actual age. Her free-spirited behavior is unbecoming of a police officer. And because of her countless contributions to solving difficult cases, she has come to be known by everyone as the Witch of Forensics, and is feared by everyone. Oh, yeah, that's true. I was expecting some kind of weird person, but it turns out that she's quite a respectable person.
You're a strong man. What do you have to be afraid of?
You say that because you haven't met the real deal. She loves red wine and stewed tripe. What's more, she likes to have a drink after she finishes with the dissections. There are even rumors going around within the prefectural police that she drinks the blood of the corpses and eats their organs to stay young. Despite her young-looking appearance. Now that's just stupid. If you drink blood to stay young, you're no longer human.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Sena. But the whole age thing was unnecessary. If you say anything else, I'll suck your blood.
Before we knew it, we turned around to see a woman in a white lab coat standing behind us. Ah, there's a girl! A fair, skinned, beautiful woman with sharp features, a bewitching aura, reminiscent of a night butterfly. With a sexy appeal like that, men will not be able to resist her. Is this the Witch of Forensics? Mitsuko Kisaragi? If she worked at a club in Ginza, I think she instantly become their #1.
Nice to meet you. I'm Natty Marie from the 1st Investigative Division. We're here to talk about the results of the suspect's hair analysis that we requested. The name's Kisaragi from the crime lab. Nice to meet you.
Professor Kisaragi holds out her hand towards me for a handshake, her eyes shining with a mysterious light.
The hair you brought me, it's been analyzed. Arigato gozaimashita. I never thought that a director such as yourself would take a charge of something simple detectives requested. Well, it was such a valuable sample. Valuable?
What sort of valuable info has this Witch of Forensics discovered? Professor Kisaragi looks at me with a smile as she bites her lips. For some reason it sends chills down my spine. Hey, I'm married! You can't have me! Sorry! It feels like a frog being stared at by a snake. She's fearsome for sure. I guess they don't call her a witch for nothing.
Do you really want to know who this hair belongs to? Huh?
I thought she was going to be messing around, but Professor Kisaragi's eyes are completely serious now. It is unusual to request a hair analysis and then go put us in a position of having us be sure that we really want to know. If you can avoid this knowledge, then it's better to never know. That's what Professor Kisaragi seems to be implying here. It seems like a warning, but how should I respond? Well, we obviously want to know, otherwise there's no story.
Of course we want to know. This is why we came here today.
It's too late to back out now. With the clue to solve this case right in front of us, it would be a coward's move if we give up. We already decided to investigate the matter from an occult perspective. Even if it is a path that leads us to the spirit world, we must take that risk.
Do you really want to know?
Don't know if she's aware of our decision or not, but Professor Kisaragi emphasizes this again even further. It must be something serious. I prepare myself again to respond. Listen to me. Listen to me, you gorgeous Barbie doll. Yes, we really want to know!
We're prepared for this. We're investigating this case with the knowledge that this will not be normal. We will accept the consequences.
I said we without thinking, but Sena nods in agreement as well.
That's a great mindset. Alright then, I'll tell you.
As she says that, Professor Kisaragi begins to type on the computer and check the database. Okay, hold on a second, I remember this part. So, I'm going to be putting a trigger warning in the corner because there's going to be a touchy subject that we're going to be talking about in terms of essaying. So, if you're easily triggered by these sort of things, and since this is going to be pre-recorded live, I would suggest to leave the stream and come back a little bit later, or maybe mute the stream, whatever you can do until the symbol on the trigger warning disappears, and then it's safe to once again hear the story. But you know, just letting you guys know right about now, this is going to be a touchy subject of essay. So yeah. As Professor Kisaragi says that, she begins to type on the computer and checks the database. The owner of this hair you brought is from a woman named Toko Amemiya. Toko Amemiya. Is that our culprit? We've been expecting to find out some kind of horrible truth, but to our surprise, it turns out to be a normal person. A real existing person. The monitor showed a modest-looking woman. It was hard to believe that she's the person, the lady in the trench coat. This woman, Toko Amemiya, is a victim of essay. A case that went dark on the G Prefectural Police.
Huh? A victim of essay?
Although he's not good with women, Sena, a former biker gang member with a strong sense of justice, becomes enraged when a theme such as essay comes into view. There's a file that contains records from the incident. As she says that, the Professor Kisaragi places a file marked top secret on the desk. Sumimasen. I take a quick glance at the open page. I can't help but look away. A simple word like essay really doesn't do it justice. There are detailed descriptions on how Toko Amemiya's dignity had been trampled upon. According to the records, the incident happened 5 years ago. A woman named Toko Amemiya, who was 24 at the time of the incident, was attacked by several men on her way home from work. That is very horrible. The incident happened at the park where we first encountered Professor Kisaragi. Is the culprit? Professor Kisaragi shakes her head. The culprit's identity is still unknown. Toko Amemiya escaped from the mental hospital she was staying and is currently missing. She escaped 3 months after the incident. In other words, for the past 5 years, Toko Amemiya has been accumulating resentment. Now, for the first time, I feel like we have proof that the quiet-looking Toko Amemiya we see on the monitor and the vengeful lady in the trench coat may be the same person. Hey, you two. I recommend you both to not take this case too serious. Another warning. What does she mean by telling us to not take this case too seriously? Well, what's my Discord? 1 second. It's over here. Is it because this case will be too much for us? Is that what you're saying? It's up to you. The real question is, are you ready to know the full truth? If we step into this case further, we'll be entering a very deep and dark situation where common sense may not apply. In other words, strange things will wait for us. We can't keep getting sidetracked with the rich of forensics warnings, though. I close my eyes. The trauma of my past events comes back to mind. I wanted to be courageous and brave, but I couldn't. You can still turn your backs away from this.
There's no point in warning us. No matter what happens, we'll push through this. We'll solve this case.
As expected of you, Sena. You have a lot of spirit. But being reckless is different from being determined, you know?
Well, I'm still ready. Otherworldly or not, I'm all for it. We'll solve this case.
Sena seems like Sena won't give in to the witch. Looks like he has his own motivations to go through with this.
Sena, you're still hung up with that incident, aren't you?
Ooh, excuse me? That's right. I will avenge the old man. and catch his killer.
Old man?
It's nothing. You don't need to be concerned over it. More importantly, are you prepared for this?
To be honest, I'd be lying if I say I will not hesitate. But I come this far. This is not the time to back out.
Of course. That's why I came to G Prefecture in the first place.
Yes, I came to G Prefecture to overcome the trauma from the past and start over.
Okay, if you're ready to pursue this, then come here tomorrow.
Professor Kisaragi wrote an address on a notepad and handed it to me. The address was written in beautiful handwriting.
Here. I'm off duty tomorrow. I'm inviting you both to my house.
Oh, is that a good thing? Oh my god. Her cheerful smile seems like an invitation to hell. Oh my god. Hey! Yo! I forgot this part. After a day of being tossed mysterious events, I find myself bathing in the hot spring water. I felt like I was being purified and cleansed. Hey! Yay! My eyes meet with my own reflection in the mirror. My long hair was wet and stuck to my neck.
Hair, huh?
I remember last night when I was unable to wait for the forensics lab analysis to be finished. I spent all my time researching information about the hair on the internet. First, hair is made up of a protein called keratin, and its color is determined by the amount of melanin. I've often heard stories of people experiencing shock, fear, or trauma when the hair turns white instantly, and that it's an occult phenomenon that is not physically possible. We'll see in Shin Hayarigami 3. Hair has also been treated as a sacred since... Oh my goodness, se me fue. Excuse me. Hair has also been treated as sacred since ancient times. For example, the Kojiki features Kami Nagahime, and Greek mythology features the three Gorgon sisters whose hair were made of snakes. Sukumogami, which are objects that turn into yokai over a long period of time, are also written as Japanese folklore. Sukumo has the connotation of 9 long years and experiences in kana, and refers to 5% less, in other words, a person who lived a long life with gray hair. In addition, it is said that strong dark thoughts, spiritual powers, and evil spirits reside in hair, and it has been used as a talisman for sorcery and other purposes since ancient times. The most famous example is the midnight visit to the temple. There are also some strange rumors going around, such as the soy sauce can be made from hair. Since hair is made of tissue, it's apparently possible to make it, but it's said to taste poorly and it's cost effective, so in reality no one would pay attention to such a thing. However, there are some plausible rumors floating around that human hair soy sauce is on the market. No, even though we decided to investigate this from an occult perspective, it's too dangerous to become too dependent on the occult. Let's calm down and sort the situation. Oh, I love that attention to detail. We're naked. We're naked and free! Let's think of... Okay, so the top says... Let's think about the lady in the trench coat and consider the mysterious phenomenon of Miss Amemiya. Now, let's first consider the lady in the trench coat and our first encounter during the second incident. The most notable point is... she must have stayed under the bench for a long period of time, has an extraordinary physical abilities. In this case, it's the second one. I considered this before, but this time I'll look at it from a different perspective. For example, if the lady in the trench coat is a monster, it would make sense that she would display superhuman abilities. If it was a supernatural being who defeated 2 police officers with her bare hands and survived Sena's dropkick... No, this is exactly why I'm saying that we shouldn't lean too much into the occult. But what the f do you think it is? Let's move on to the next topic. The third and fourth incidents happened at the same time on the same day, but different locations. Detective Mimi jokingly told Sena she may be a clone, but could that really be the case? It's possible human cloning exists. It's not possible the existence of clones. Hi. Perhaps it's possible she's actually a clone. It's possible there may have been 2 ladies in the trench coats, or worse, there could be more than that. What if those trench coat wearing women were the first subjects to go on a rampage in G Prefecture? First, the technology to create clone humans has not yet been established. Besides, there are also ethical issues involved, so it shouldn't be possible. That's right. What about the lady in the trench coat who showed up at the hospital? I've already thought about this before, but the fact that she was able to defeat 2 police officers with her bare hands and was immune to Sena's attack... is it possible the lady in the trench coat was imitating... the woman on the bench or Kashima? Kashima because of the poor victim. Was it because she was imitating Kashima? The fact that she cut off the leg of Yasawa's fiancé, isn't that because she was imitating Kashima herself? If that's the case, then it's not hard to understand why this phenomenon could be considered abnormal. No, wait. After also jumping out of the 10th floor window, the lady in the trench coat had disappeared. What does this mean? Is there an explanation to this? So this is the final choice, teleportation. She just simply vanished. She just simply vanished. Did she just simply vanish? If the lady in the trench coat was a monster, an incorporeal being like a ghost, then it would be unnatural for her to just simply vanish. Of course, it should also be possible for them to materialize at will. If that's the case, it's no wonder they can appear and disappear at will. Okay. I finished my shower, but no matter how much I think about it, I can't find a sensible answer. No matter what I think, it always leads back to the occult. The more I try to think, the more I start to feel like I'm sinking deeper. I finished my shower, but no matter... no, wait. Which one is it? Even though I took a long shower, I still don't feel refreshed. Normally, this would be the perfect solution for times like this. Hold on a second, let me check something real quick. I was just checking if I should record more. I'm gonna record a little bit more. Okay. I took out 2 bottles of beer from the fridge and drank them all in one go. Then I lay on my bed and look up at the ceiling. Jesus! Bojachona? The words from Professor Kisaragi continue to run around in my mind. Am I really prepared for this? Yes, girl, you are. You are a strong motherfucker. If we were to come face to face with the supernatural, would I be able to overcome my fear? If fear consumes me like this, like it did with the Blindman incident. Once again, the visions. I've just realized I fell asleep for a moment. Perhaps because I've been thinking a lot about things before going to sleep, I ended up having a nightmare. I felt depressed because I hadn't properly slept well. Can't be helped. I'll take another hot shower to clear my head again. Okay. The music! Third day of the investigation. It's early morning. I met up with Sena at the location designated by Professor Kisaragi.
Hey, you said that witch was waiting for us at her house, right?
Yeah.
So what? Is this where the witch lives? This feels off somehow.
Whoa, my god! Looking up at the long stairs in front of us, we can faintly see a torii gate from afar. It's a shrine. We can tell this place has a long history of its own. I was taken aback by this, as I had assumed it was just an old Western style mansion that had a reputation in the neighborhood as being haunted. Ah! Our girl's looking so kawaii! Hello, you two. Welcome to my home. Shrine maiden. She's a shrine maiden. Furthermore, the outfit she's wearing shows her wide open chest, and her cleavage is clearly visible. Yeah, basically what they're saying is that you can see her nipples and her, yeah. And her hoo-ha! I think. A woman born to a certain family is usually associated with purity and innocence, but the image Professor Kisaragi portrayed was lewdness. Blasphemy is the ways to describe it. Sí, porque a ella le gusta ser una fresca, una frega de esa. Le encanta ser una frega. Seeing this and I let out a gas that sounded almost like a cigarette. Oh my god, Sena! Oh my goodness.
Are you stupid? The hell are you doing dressed like that?
Oh, you don't like this? I'm doing this for the good-looking young man.
Just hurry up and put on some proper clothes. I'll arrest you for public indecency.
Oh dear, I can tell you wanna look. Come, don't be shy. For Sena, who doesn't seem to know how to deal with women, although he denies it, the stimulation seems too strong. Poor guy. Perhaps Professor Kisaragi knows about this and deliberately makes no attempt to hide her boobies, her tetitas. She seems to enjoy teasing Sena. You want to see some tetas? Her lustrous skin and body makes her look ageless, just like a witch. You really want to touch them, don't you? Nah.
No! Don't come any closer!
Oh my god! No good. If we continue to go along with Professor Kisaragi's pace, we'll end up in trouble. Let's get straight to the point.
Professor Kisaragi, we came here to know the truth behind what you were saying yesterday. The truth, huh? Okay. The woman's hair sample you brought in, it has a very strong grudge attached to it. Suddenly she begins to talk about grudges as we expected, something supernatural. But when I hear those words, I feel a sense of suffocation. It's the hair of a woman who's victim of an unsolved essay case. It's only natural that she would harbor such grudge. But how should we, as people living in the modern age, understand grudges? As you can see, my family is a family of shrines that have been passed down since ancient times in G Prefecture. That's why I can see things no one else can see. It's a nuisance. And when I was a child, I hated it. But what's visible is what's visible, so I guess there's nothing I can do about it. She spoke in a tone that sounded somewhat resigned yet sarcastic. It's impossible to tell when she's serious or when she's joking. Grudges are not visible to the naked eye. They cannot be measured even with the most advanced technology. The law does not recognize the existence of grudges. What's the matter? You didn't think I would notice, huh? I see everything. She saw through me. It seems I can't even hide my thoughts from this witch. OMG. What I'm trying to say is that using grudges as a tool to commit murder is a crime. Cursing and killing people with grudges? I didn't expect to hear those words coming from the director of the Science Research Institute. Yeah, but she's a shrine maiden. Can you see that? Sometimes I'm the director of the Crime Research Institute, and sometimes I'm a shrine maiden who fights evil spirits. Or whichever. Isn't that a good thing? It feels like I'm reading manga. Science and occult. It would be boring to live only on one path. Boring? I don't think that's a problem. Science and the occult. This world and the other world. They are two sides of the same coin. I don't think there's any punishment for someone like me to use both. Needless to say, using both, this is a statement that is hard to imagine coming from the director of a research institute of a police science who should specifically believe in science, or the daughter of a family with a long and distinguished history at a Shinto shrine who should specifically believe in the occult. This person may get punished.
I've only just met her, but she can say that with confidence. Perhaps that's what makes her a witch as well.
Oi, Sensei. No need to go on about unnecessary things. Just get to the point. In essence, you're saying that the lady in the trenchcoat's grudge is the source of this incident, right?
I was about to get to it. Young people these days are so impatient. An irritated Sena urges Professor Kisaragi. He seems to have already accepted the existence of grudges.
Sena, do you really believe someone can hurt and kill someone with their grudges?
I'm an idiot, so I don't know everything. But we both know that there are cases in this world that can't be solved by common sense alone.
Those words reminded me of what happened yesterday.
Sena, do you really...
No, wait.
Sena, you're still hung up on that incident, aren't you?
That's right. I will avenge the old man and catch his killer.
Sena, do you believe the existence of grudges because of that incident? The one Professor Kisaragi mentioned yesterday?
Without answering my question, Sena simply turns his gaze away with a pained expression. There's a part of me that wants to know more. I really do. But let's not pry too much into this.
Gomenasai. Forget about it. Let's get back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
I had decided that I would not get attached to other people, but I still did.
Professor Kisaragi, at this point I don't care if it's science or occult. I just want to solve this case. Anything is fine. Tell us everything you know. Okay, understood. First, have you heard the saying that anger resides in hair?
She's going to the topic we were discussing earlier.
Yes, I've heard that hair is said to become... Yes, I've heard that hair is said to be home to gods and that it's easy for spiritual things to reside in it.
You're quite knowledgeable. Do you by any chance read any of Professor Suime Kirisaki's books? By the way, Suime Kirisaki is a character from the old Hayarigami games. I think he's a folklorist of some sort, I think. I'm not sure. Where was I?
No. It was just a coincidence.
You know what? I think I'm gonna leave the episode here. As much as I would like to continue this, I am going to be ending it here. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Shin Hayarigami 2. This was a pretty interesting episode so far, and now we're going on the occult route. I am so excited to see what's going to happen next. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this. If you really did enjoy it, drop the like button. It really helps out a lot. If you're not subscribed to the channel, would appreciate if you do. Also leave your comments and your thoughts on this video or anything in general. And yeah, that is pretty much it, my lovelies. I love you all. Appreciate you. And we'll be seeing you on the next one. Goodbye!